What's up, everybody? It's Carlos, just me, and I am with.
Gamingpod.
And today is February 19th, 2021. Yes, it's been, I don't know how long it's been, but we're back. I finally have a computer. That's the reason why you guys don't care. Let's just get on to the story, okay? So, Diablo 2, if you don't know what that is, then it's a game that's made by. Anyway, Diablo 2 is getting remastered, right? So, it's going to be called Diablo 2 Resurrected, right? Blizzard describes it as a definitive remastering of the game, along with the expansion pass or the expansion called Lord of Destruction. It will launch in 2021, so this year, but they haven't confirmed the actual date. It will be available on PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, all the Xboxes. Because if I try to list them out, I'm going to get confused. It's also going to come out on PS4 and PS5, the Switch, and it's going to be cross-play between platforms, as well as being able to progress. So let's say you start on the PS4, but then you get a PS5 whenever they start, mass producing it. You can still continue where you left off instead of just starting one mission or one character on one and then having to do it all over again. So it's pretty cool. I don't think I ever played Diablo games, but it's cool that they're remastering. I kind of don't give a shit though, because it's Activision and Blizzard, and I don't care for that company as much. But what do you think, Joe?
Um, I think that because I know they're also gonna launch Diablo 4.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it's gonna be interesting when Diablo 4 is gonna launch. I'm assuming maybe 2022 or 2023.
Mm-hmm.
But based on the comments I saw, people were really happy and excited for Diablo 2 to come
Mm-hmm.
back. Um, I have a feeling this is a game for like an older generation based on what the previous gameplay looked like.
Mm-hmm.
Because the characters look like 2D, like 2D basic characters.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I mean people are happy. I mean me personally, I really don't care for Diablo games.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
But yeah, moving on with another release. It was BlizzCon today, I think, right? It was BlizzCon today. So, what's another thing that got shown today, Gio?
So another game that they're focused on is Overwatch 2, which technically for me I would consider it Overwatch maybe 1.5. Um, so based on what they said, is that the experience should basically feel like a big departure from the original Overwatch. They focused on the way weapons handled, animations, sounds, and the way fighting feels and sounds. Um, Another cool thing that they also focused on was the environmental dynamic weather for the maps. So, for example, there's a map called I forgot the name of it, but it's the Sand Egyptian map.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Basically, they're gonna have dynamic weather. So let's say you're playing a match, and then randomly there's gonna be a sandstorm. So then you're gonna be unable to see characters, see where they're at, see where they're coming from,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think it they mentioned that their emphasis is gonna be they're basically gonna empower some of the characters who can see through walls. So, for example, Black Widow can, I believe she can see through walls, right? She can see enemies
Hold up.
walls.
Who?
Black Widow? No, wait, not Black Widow. What's her name? That's Marvel.
Did you hear this guy?
what's the
Did you hear what he said?
What's the name of the sniper?
Widowmaker.
Widow Widowmaker?
Yes.
Okay.
Black Widow.
Widowmaker,
Jesus
she can see
Christ.
through walls, right? So
Yeah.
their emphasis is gonna be on some of these other characters that can actually um use some of their different abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Specials or the.
Yeah, so basically they're trying to change the way the map is, so then you start to focus on some of these other characters and some of their powers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and another example was having like a winter storm. I mean, to be honest, both of the dynamic weather that they showed were
Mm-hmm.
very similar. Like they just blur your vision from seeing far away.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but to be honest, I mean they're interesting, but I don't think they're big like selling points. Like, oh look, this is next gen. Like all of this could be done technically
But
on PS4 and
what
Xbox.
about New York?
New
Got
York.
announced. Yeah, isn't that a new map?
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, they announced I think two new maps, and
What?
then
No, no, one new map because technically the Egypt, I forget what it's called too, but I think that's just a different part of Egypt.
well, they announced that I think they announced two maps or maybe one, but
No, they announced two.
their
One of them
focus
was the Egypt. Sorry to interrupt you, and the other one was New York.
their focus was on dynamic weather on the maps. Well, on the maps that they showed for dynamic weather were maps that we already have for Overwatch 1.
Mm-hmm,
Um, and then they mentioned how some of the previous maps they were actually expanding them.
mm-hmm,
So let's say you go now to one of the maps in an Overwatch, and there's like a door that they're gonna open those doors up and actually expand the map.
mm-hmm.
So then people feel like they're playing in new areas, even though it's not really a new area. It kind of, to be honest, it feels kind of like they're being a bit cheap because it's this is technically a new game. It just feels like they're updating. It feels like they're just this should be technically an update, not like a full
Yeah,
$60 game.
like an expansion.
Yeah, and it feels like most of the game itself is going to be the same thing as before, but they're just
Mm-hmm.
fixing things. Um, they did announce a new character. His name is Sojourn. He's gonna based on what they said, he's gonna be built around the railgun, um, it- classic weapon in a first person shooter. So I'm assuming it's gonna be kind of like what's his name, Reinhardt, Ryan, the guy with the shield and the hammer.
Reinhardt.
Yeah, so I think he's gonna be a bit heavy like that, but he's gonna have a machine gun, like a heavy machine gun,
Mm-hmm.
um, and he's gonna be slow moving. That's what I think. Um, but yeah, overall, I think it's a bit disappointing what they're showing. It seems to be the same thing as before. They also mentioned something about single player character missions, which
Mm-hmm.
everyone thought it was going to be an actual single player mode. But based on what they said, if it's going to be more kind of like an objective based um, mode where you go into these multiplayer maps and you do objectives,
Mm-hmm.
and they're gonna have like over 100 objectives, and so they're basically gonna split these objectives within these characters. But it feels kind of like if you're playing against AI, and it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't. I mean, personally, I'm not too sure how they're gonna make it feel like single player, but I think people were expecting like an actual single player game.
Um, I like fighting games. I don't know about you, Joe, but I like fighting games. One of my favorite fighting games is Tekken. Tekken is gonna be. I'm just kidding. Street Fighter is going to be in Fortnite, specifically Chun Li and Ryu,
I have
right,
no
Brett?
idea.
They're going to be available in Fortnite's in-game shop on Saturday, February 20 at 7 p.m. So tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, you'll be able to shoot guns as Chun-Li or Ryu. Excuse me.
So number 4 is someone wants the data from everyone else, but the other people don't want to give it. And that someone is Apple. So Apple subpoenaed Valve, in November as part of its ongoing litigation with Fortnite Epic Games. And it's demanding that Valve provides extensive sales data for more than 400 games. Apple's arguing that this data is crucial to help determine the total size of the market for Epic's available digital distribution channels. The court also asked Samsung to provide. Oh, wait, they actually already asked Samsung to provide almost identical information. Apple said in the filing. So I think it seems a bit extreme for Apple to be requesting all this information from other companies that they don't even own or control.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be crazy if the court is siding with Apple on this because that information should be technically private to the companies that hold that information. Seems like Apple's asking for too much, and it kind of feels like they're being a bully at this point.
But anyway, so right now, um, speaking of Apple, I bought a new computer. I love it. Can't believe I'm saying that, but it's knock on wood, it's going great. But we're not able to record usually when we record these video calls or these this thing we call a newscast or podcast, whatever. We use OBS, but technical difficulties didn't work, so we're using Zoom. And speaking of Zoom, the reason that's why I brought it up, GDC, I forgot the actual game something whatever. They're going all digital this year for 2021, and they're going to split into 3 separate events to better and more safely accommodate the networking, gaming showcase, and instructional workshops and panels that GDC is known for. The series of these events will start with GDC Masterclass, a collection of virtual workshops and training for developers that will take place on the 4th and the 5th. So I guess we could watch it, but we're just going to be like, I have so many questions. And then GDC Showcase, which will be open to the public. So okay, so the other part is not going to be for us. Cool. I probably should read this before I talked. GDC Showcase will be open to the public and free to attend virtually. They will include networking and lectures in a new array of content and formats. Finally, GDC 2021 proper will take place during the week of July 19 as a business and education focused event. Gio, I was about to call you a different name. Gio, do you know anything about GDC? Do you remember anything about GDC years prior?
Is that in Germany? That's no wait, that's not Gamescom, right?
No, that's something else.
Oh, to be honest, I don't.
Well, if you know what GDC is,
Tell us below.
unfortunately, yeah. Unfortunately, you won't be able to go in person, especially if you're a developer. You won't be able to be there and learn the trades of the craft. Yeah, right. It's a phrase.
Yep.
Um,
Oculus and Facebook equals money.
money.
Kinda. So according to, I believe he's the founder of Oculus. He basically said that Oculus was a bit of a mess before Facebook bought them.
Mm-hmm.
And once Facebook did buy them, they received a bunch of freedom for many years
Mm-hmm.
for them to do and run the company. Also, his so basically, he also said it wasn't a fairy tale for Facebook to buy Oculus, but it was the correct thing to do since it was the correct thing to do for the company. I'm assuming based on his previous statement of
Mm-hmm.
Oculus was a bit of a mess. So he also didn't say much. He also did say that once Facebook did buy them, after they did the transition of Facebook leadership taking over control of Oculus, it was hard for him to say as to what the company could do. Like he was still, I guess he wasn't in charge. He was more of an advisor,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess they kind of took his input, but not really pay much attention to him.
Like yeah. Like the guy in the back. Yeah. We'll write it down, Tim. We'll write it down.
Right. But I think when Facebook, because I think Mark Zuckerberg was the one that decided to buy Oculus for $1 billion, and the executives were a bit
What you doing,
I think they were a
Sucky?
bit mad because he decided to spend so much money without their approval.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, and he also thought that Facebook was never gonna force users to use Facebook login with their Oculus, but that seemed to have happened. So seems like we're one step closer to Sword Art Online,
Mm-hmm.
where the corporation takes over. People use their headsets, and then the corporation takes over. And if you remove the headset, you die.
That's not
Time.
exactly how it works, but no, it's like if you die in the game, you die in real life.
Yeah.
Not you take it off, you die. No, it's like you die in the
Imagine.
game, you die in real life.
But yeah. What's
How,
the?
how about we just go on to the next one? Something a little bit more. Well, this is still kind of shitty. So can you send me money, Gio? Cause like cause I need it. Don't worry for what reason. I just need money.
No.
Oh, well, can I email you telling you that I need money, but then not tell you why I need money?
As long as the email comes from you, yeah.
Oh. Well, the reason invitations to a prompt coming Far Cry 6 beta test are risky. So pretty much Red Brad. I don't know if you know who that is. He's a YouTuber who plays games for a living. He comments over them. Somehow doesn't get copyright strike when the music is playing, but whatever. Cool guy. He tweeted about this scam, and Ubisoft confirmed that yes, whoever's doing this, nah, it's not us, homie. Emails coming from legit looking Ubisoft emails and even contain a password to access the beta. Installing it though, if you install it, actually installs a video screen recorder that watches everything that is being done. Why? It's weird though. That's like, it's weird. Why would you do that? Like, what if the person's like, you know, why would you want it? It's just weird, bro. Like I didn't hear about this until we did this thing today. So it's just weird, man. Like,
I mean, I think people should know better as well.
I mean, it's because when you're excited, you don't. Why do you think a lot of people? I'm not going. There's probably kids watching this. I'm not going to. I don't know, dude. It's just weird. Okay, so, don't put in information if it looks if it yeah, just don't. Be safe. You know, both in person in real life or in person and then on the online space. Be safe, bro. Don't if Timmy tells you he has a PS5, but Timmy doesn't have a PS5, don't send Timmy money. Same thing with this. If the game isn't going to come out for a while, and they haven't announced the beta, what would you just put in my information? Yeah, I'm going to play the beta. Why? What? What? What do you mean? Okay, so lesson of today: don't spend your money on microtransactions. Don't spend your money on anything Activision unless you really like Activision. And then or sorry, Blizzard. And then don't respond to emails unless you know they're legit. And even if you're legit, still confirm with the company, because it's weird. But before we go, I do have some like little things that I'm looking forward to. So I think yesterday, right? Yesterday was Nintendo Direct, and they announced a lot of things, but a lot of things I don't really care about. I think there's two things I care about. Yes, so the first one is Mario Golf. I like playing Mario Golf on I forgot which system it was. I think it was a Wii. It was so much fun because you got to use the Wii remotes. Just I don't know why I'm doing this. It's baseball. To swing like the golf clubs. I do enjoy golfing. I haven't done it in a long time, but I like golf. I like to golf. I like golf. Um, so I'm looking forward to that game, and I'm looking forward to. Even though I played these games already, I'm looking forward to Ninja Gaiden. What about you, Gio? Are you looking forward to anything that Nintendo released, or
No.
okay,
I'll wait.
you don't care?
I mean, it was I mean, they were okay. I guess I'm waiting for Metroid, but nothing came from that.
And yeah, anything before we end the call?
Nope.
Okay.
That's it.
So hopefully from now on, bear with me, but this will start to continue on from here. I'm not going to forget to edit this video because I've been wanting to use Final Cut for a while. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next week. Have a good night. Have a good day.
Peace.
Or whatever, wherever you live. All right, bye.
Okay, so we're skipping GDC, right?
Well, I don't know.